Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we got a fun little animation for you today. It's a bit of an attention grabber. As you can see, we've got three little call to actions in there. And in the middle one, I've created a little animation that makes it jump up and down. Well, it's once every 5 seconds it's going to do that little bouncing thing. And that's a real attention grabber if you've got a particular item that you want to make people look at more than the others. That's going to do it. Really easy to do. Got to do a bit of coding for this today, but it's really easy. Let's get started. I'm going to enable the visual builder. Once enabled, I'm going to go down. I'm going to create a new row. Little green button to create a new row. In mine, I'm going to put 3 columns today. Obviously, you put as many or as few as you want in yours. And let's just delete this row that I've got on top here. Let's just pop a call to action in there. I'll come back to that. Let's just delete this row up here so we don't get confused. Okay, well, I'm going to pop a little call to action button in there. You may have noticed that there isn't one, or you may not have noticed because there isn't one. To add a button, put your button title in there. I'm going to leave everything just as it is on the generic. Before the button's going to show up, you have to go to link just down below and put a button link in wherever it is you want to take people. I'm just going to put a hashtag in mine. Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to duplicate that a couple of times. 2 little squares right there. Left click, drag one of them over. Doesn't matter which one. They're all both identical. And exactly the same again. Okay, well, let's make this middle one bounce like I had the other one doing, and of course you can apply it to anything that you want. So I'm going to add a code module to get this done today. There it is. I'm putting it just under my middle one here. And usually I put all this code down below. The only thing I can't put down below is what I'm going to do now. It's style tags. Because of the pointed brackets, YouTube won't let me. And it's left pointed bracket, the word style, and right pointy bracket. How difficult was that? Once you put in that right pointy bracket, it's going to put the closing style tag in there for you. And inside, we can write our CSS code. Okay, well, let's create a class for it. All class names, when you're in the code module, have to have a dot or a period in front. Let's call it bouncA, capital A. You can call yours what you want. It wants to be unique, though. Then let's open and close some curly brackets and tell it what we actually want it to do. Well, I'm going to create an animation for it so it does that little bounce effect. So I'm going to say animation, colon. Then we have to think of a name for our animation. I'm going to call it bouncA. Call yours what you want. Again, it needs to be unique. I'm going to have it run for 5 seconds and then repeat itself. And I want it to keep on going and going all the time. So I'm going to say infinite. Great. Pop a little semicolon on the end of there. Now we need to actually create this animation that we call bouncA. We're going to be using keyframes to do this today. So I'm going to say @keyframes. And the name of it, which was bouncA. So we can open and close some more curly brackets and tell it what we actually want it to do. Well, we're running for 5 seconds before this cycles around and starts again. So at 0%, or when the page loads basically, 0%, open and close some more curly brackets. I'm going to use a bit of transform translate to bounce it up and down on the y-axis today. But when it starts out, I want it to be at 0. So I'm going to say transform, colon, translate. I want to put a capital Y on the end of there because we're doing it around the y-axis, so it bounces up and down. Then we can open some round brackets, no gap after the Y, and tell it by how much. Well, this first one, I don't want anything happening, so I'm just going to put a 0 in there. Put a little semicolon on the end. Now I'm going to copy this from the 0 to that first curly bracket there, not the second one. That's encapsulating the whole of our animation. So Control C to copy. I'm going to drop down one. I'm going to paste that one in there. Now I'm going to say perhaps at 2%. I'm going to have it jump up to -20, so it'll jump 20 pixels higher up there. So where the 0 is, I'm going to say negative 20 bits to OBX. Fantastic. Now I'm going to copy both of these again. Control C, drop down, paste, Control V. Then we're going to go at 4%. I think you can see a pattern emerging. I'm going to leave that one at 0, so it's going 0, 20 up, back to 0 again, and at 6%. Make it bounce back up, maybe not as high this time. I'm going to put mine to 15. Obviously adjust this, you can go absolutely crazy with it if you want to. Again, I'm going to copy those two. Drop down. Then at 8%, it's going to be back to 0. 10%. I'm going to have it perhaps even go a bit higher, 25 maybe. I might stagger that. I might make it a bit more of a gap so that it's not boom, boom, boom. There's a little bit of a timing change. So let's make that one go to 12 there. We'll copy it one more time. Control C, drop down, Control V to paste. And let's perhaps make this one, because it's going back to 0, I'm going to do 2% on that one again. So 14. And I have maybe a big gap, maybe up to, say, 20. And we'll have it negative 10. Like I say, you can adjust this to your taste. We'll try that. Now, to make this actually work, we just need to give something the class of bouncA. When you give it a class in the actual module itself, you don't need the dot. You just need the dot when it's in your custom CSS panel or a code module. So let's copy that, Control C. We've got that class name there. Let's see if we can give it to our middle call to action module here. I'm going to go in over to Advanced, CSS IDs and classes. It's a class we're going to put in there. As soon as we put it in there, we should see that animation start. Control V to paste, and there it is. Every 5 seconds, it's going to do that little dance, which is going to get people's attentions really quick. Now, if you've got a button on there like I have, this will work with any module, by the way, and you want to actually stop it so it doesn't do that once they hover over it, we can just modify the code a little bit by going back in there. Let's go back into the code module. Code modules don't take up much real estate. I can get to mine easy here, but if you have trouble finding yours, which is not uncommon, you can always go to the back end, hit the little purple button, over to wireframe mode over here, little icon on the left, click on it, and it takes you to the back end. You can get into it easily that way. Like I say, we didn't have a problem today, but that does occur occasionally. Let's go back to desktop. Okay, to change this so it stops when they hover over it, I'm going to copy this from the dot before the class name there, bouncA, down to that curly bracket at the bottom. Control C, going to drop down and paste it. Control V to paste. Just after the capital A there, I'm going to put a colon, no gap, and the word hover. No gaps anywhere there, no spaces. And where it says animate, or animation, I'm going to change that from 5 seconds infinite to none. Now when I put my mouse over it, it'll stop animating. Let's get it animating. There we go, and it's stopped. Take my mouse off, it'll start again. Stopped. And as usual, I'll put all of this code bar the style tags down at the bottom here. You can use a code module, or you can put that in your additional CSS panel if you want to use it site-wide. And I'm sure you know anything else that you give that particular class to will make it bounce. Just for an example, let's copy that again. Let's save this. Let's give this icon or this little blurb module that same class. And it'll start bouncing up and down just like the thing above it. And you can do it on a row or a section if you want to. That's quite funny. I'll take that away. And you can do it on a whole row or, like I say, a section if you want to. Exactly the same deal. Let's go into this row. Advanced CS ID and classes. Paste it in there. Now that whole row is jumping up and down. So there you have it, guys. Let's make sure this is going to work on the front end save our changes there. We'll save draft or publish down the bottom and exit the visual builder. And there we go. It's going to bounce up and down. 5 seconds later, it's going to bounce up and down again. We put our mouse on it, it's going to stop animating. They can read the text, hit the button if they want to. Mouse back off, it'll start jumping around again. And that's a nice little feature to have on your site. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Don't forget, if you have any questions, pop them below the video. I'll do my best to answer them or make a demo video for you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.